What's up, Planeswalkers? It's your boy K-Dog here at the Early Access event. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for allowing myself, as well as all the other content creators, a chance to play with the Core Set 21 before it officially releases Thursday. So yeah, Early Access event. Just trying out some different decks. This is another one, another Simic list. This one kind of something I wanted to do. Kind of revisit, so to speak. Beast Tribal. This one we're mostly green, but kind of splashing blue just a little bit because the Trumpeting Gnarr is just a pretty fantastic creature here with Beast strategy. Obviously, we're just trying to have fun, casual. Magic Trumpeting Gnarr is an amazing card in that regard. We have some pretty sweet new cards that work amazing with that. Obviously, let me see. We got Garruk. It's a 4 mana, 4 loyalty. Planeswalker, 2 green, green, +1 to give a creature +3/+3 and trample until end of turn. A lot of our beasts don't have trample as it is, so giving them trample is pretty sweet. You can -2 to make a 3/3 green beast creature token. Then if an opponent controls more creatures than you, put a loyalty counter on Garruk. So if your opponent has like kind of a go wide strategy, you're still getting a 3/3 that can kind of probably block their 1/1, 2/2, whatever creatures, or at least kill their 3 toughness creatures potentially. And gives your Garruk another counter, so it comes down as 4. You -2, make it 2. You put it back up to 3. So they have to invest a lot of resources to try to kill your Garruk. So it's pretty reasonable in that regard. However, the -7 is pretty interesting. It's not as amazing as it sounds on paper. You can end up with at the beginning of your end step. You can search your library for a creature card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle your library. The fact is that your end step is kind of where this card is a little bit lacking, but also kind of makes it a little more balanced, so it's not like your upkeep or something stupid like that. But problem with your end step is then your opponent can just untap Shadow the Sky, and you have an emblem. But definitely another creature-based matchups is going to help you pull way ahead, and the trample in particular I think is going to be pretty powerful. The Vivien for 4 mana is probably just a better planeswalker for the most part, because it puts counters, and it can fight. Have one of your creatures deal damage to something on your opponent's side, or a planeswalkers as well. So it's just a little more versatile, and having the counters that are just a +3 until end of turn. I mean, trample is pretty good. So if you're in an aggressive stompy build, it is pretty nice. You're not gonna be disappointed to get that +1 effect on your creatures, but definitely feels like it's a little bit kind of a win worry type of a card, rather than something that's gonna help you like maybe a Vivien can by picking something off on your opponent's side, or putting permanent counters on your creatures. But we're gonna run Garruk just because it's a new card instead of Vivien. We're gonna see how it does. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is better than Vivien. Maybe it's just as good. Maybe it's better in the right build. Maybe. So we're gonna run some beasts and see what happens. What else we got for new cards here? We got Garruk's Harbinger. It's a 3 mana, 4/3, 1 green, green beast, hexproof from black. So that's pretty cool. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or a planeswalker, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You can reveal a creature or a Garruk planeswalker from among them, put it into your hand, and rest it on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it doesn't come out in the battlefield or anything stupid like that, but still you get to draw a creature or a planeswalker, which is pretty fantastic. So this is where Garruk giving it +3/+3 and trample is pretty amazing. Now you're swinging 7/6 trample on turn 4. That's pretty good. And then 7 trampling damage. I mean, depending on what your opponent's up to, you could be getting, digging 7 cards deep, but probably 1, 2, 3. That's still pretty reasonable, especially when you're creature heavy. So I think this card is pretty fantastic. 4/3 for 3 mana is it's a pretty powerful stat. Hexproof from black, double green though, so it seems like it's a pretty fair balanced card overall, and definitely looking forward to playing with it. So all 4 copies. Of course, talk about the Trumpeting Gnarr, 4 copies here as well. Just to review, it's a 3 mana, 3/3. Mutate for 5. Whenever it mutates, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. So just a nice beast token factory. So also a mutate sub theme here. There's plenty of good mutate options in green. And so we're splashing the blue for the Gnarr, and we're going to run one other new card here in Unsubstantiate. Return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. So this, since we're kind of a stompy-ish mutate build, just being able to kind of either bounce a creature on your opponent's side or returning a spell. So if they go to Shadow the Sky, you can say, nah, not this turn, and put it back to their hand. And that way you could potentially buy yourself that one turn you need to close out the game. So this seems like it could be a very powerful card. Definitely some nice sideboard tech at a minimum. So we're going to run a couple copies just to kind of see how it goes. And yeah, so another new card here is Ranger's Guile. It's kind of our new replacement for Blossoming Defense, for those of you familiar with that one. Blossoming Defense, of course, gave +2/+2. This one gives +1/+1, but they both give Hexproof for 1 mana at instant speed for a single green mana. So that's just a fantastic way to protect your creatures. You have your Beastie down, you Garruk, give it a +3/+3. Then your opponent, tries to kill in response. You say, nah, Ranger's Guile. Now you get an extra +1 boost, power toughness, and you give it hexproof. So that's pretty sweet. So our mutate here, we also have Essence Symbiote, 2/2 for 2. Whenever any creature you control mutates, put a +1 counter on that creature, and you gain 2 life. And of course, we also have a couple copies of Heroic Intervention. So not only does it protect your creatures, but also protects your planeswalkers. 2 mana instant speed. This is just an amazing card. Put in a ton of work. Last time it was in the standard, and it's definitely going to see all the play in this upcoming standard as well. Definitely main deckable, and definitely sideboard tech at a minimum, an all-star out of the sideboard. As the permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So just having both of these effects at 2 mana instant speed in green, it's pretty amazing. It's going to protect you from Shadow the Sky. It's going to protect you from spot removal. Obviously, it doesn't affect you from exile, but that's kind of the whole point of exile, is it gets around things like this. But doesn't seem like there's too much exile effects that are really all that playable. There are a few, definitely, obviously. But for the most part, Heroic Intervention is going to be a card that's going to put in a ton of work. So we also got, of course, a Gemrazer for the mutations, and also for the interaction for artifacts and enchantments. Reach Trample is also pretty good, because we don't really have much way to deal with flyers. Migratory Greathorn, again, just for the mutations to, maybe we're missing a blue source, we can dig up an island with this, or we can just ramp into some more green, so we can do more crazy stuff, or just thin the deck for some of our other spells. Of course, you have Beast Tribal without a questing beast, so just a couple copies since it's legendary. And I can't read this card, it would take me all night. It does too many things. Auspicious Starrix, 5 mana, 6/6 beast, elk beast. Of course, mutates for 6. Whenever it mutates, exile cards from top of your library until you exile X permanent cards, where X is the number of times this creature has mutated, and those permanents go onto the battlefield. So lands, creatures, planeswalkers, Starrix does it all. But just the 2 copies, we're just trying to make some room from other stuff, like Elder Gargaroth is another new card. Just got owned by this in a Teamer Monster build. So it was pretty impressive. This card is just stupid. Like, it's Questing Beast on steroids. I mean, obviously it's easy to interact with. Teferi, lots of ways to kill it. But if you don't have a way to interact with this, I mean, 6/6 Vigilance, Reach, Trample. Whenever it attacks or blocks, you draw a card, you gain 3 life, or make a 3/3 Beast token. Like, this card is like, why? It just does too many things. And finally here we have Vivien, just a familiar planeswalker here. 3 loyalty, 5 mana. However, you can +1 to make a 3/3 Beast token. That's what we're all about, beasts. And you look at the top card of your library, you can cast creature spells from the top of your library. Since we're very creature heavy, obviously we have the Garruk as well as Vivien. 3 copies of each, because they're pretty critical. We don't want all 4 to see them like all the time, because they're they're legendary. You don't want to necessarily have a wasted card in your hand, or you hit this with the Auspicious Starrix, and you don't really want to put it on the battlefield because you already have one that you've been ticking up a few times. But yeah, I think 3 copies feels like it's probably the right number, because you want to see these often, but you don't necessarily want to have multiples. And yeah, that's pretty much the deck. Mana base, we're obviously very green heavy, so 12 Forest, 4 Island, 4 Breeding Pool, and 4 Temple of Mystery. And yes, that's our first draft here of Beast Tribal, at least for Simic. Colors is definitely a teamer and other things you can do with Beast I'll be taking a look at, but this is what we're going to do for the early access event, since we have a lot of cool new green cards. So yeah, we'll start there and see how we do. Okay, Junkyard MTG. And we have Gnarr into Greathorn. That seems pretty good with a Gargaroth and a Vivien. So yeah, feels pretty good. Obviously a Symbiote or a land on top would be pretty ideal, I think. Yeah, we'll start with a Gnar, and that way we can spend 3 mana to mutate and keep finding our land drops. Temple of Silence. So they're gonna have a way to kill our beasties, probably lots of ways, but we have lots of ways to make beasts, so we'll see. Temple and Scoured Barrens and Knight of Elon Legion. Alright, play out our 3/3. So no lands yet, so definitely hoping this Gnar lives so we can mutate. There we go, we'll take that. So they indulging. Yeah, so we'll Greathorn first so we can get a land out. And then we'll Temple as our follow-up. Hexproof and black, so yeah, I definitely think we want that in this matchup. So we'll swing 3. They have 2 power on the board. They have a lifelink with the Patrician has lifelink, yeah. So Knight of Ebon Legion is interesting in a lifelink deck, but I mean it's just a good card, so why not? So we know we're drawing the Harbinger next turn. We could just drop Vivien though. And then make a 3/3 with Reach. 4 toughness is pretty hard to deal with. We could block the Knight and force him to activate. Or we could just take 1 and see if they want to play something else. I'd rather have double blocks on the Knight before we go that route. Yeah, they have another spell they want to play. It could be Veto. Nope. Oh, that's a cool one. Definitely want to play around with that at some point. We could just Gargaroth as well. It does have Reach. Yeah, let's the Gargaroth one. And take a trade with the Beast, I guess. They can spin their wheels. You have to. If you gain 3 or more life, it comes back automatically. So that's pretty good. But it comes back tapped. So we'll see what our opponent can do here. So we have Garruk, we have Vivien. I think we just drop Vivien and just keep mashing out 3/3s. Our opponent is attacking both. Do they have a way to deal with the Gargaroth, or do they forget it has I mean, we have cards in hand, so we'll take the 3/3, I think. I don't think they're running the sweepers. If they want to hit for 4, that's fine. We get the Patrician off the board. They could have some reanimation effects. But oh well. Wow. So this is why we I'll go Reach. This is why we only do this many Viviens. I think we need to draw that. We need to get that off the top of our deck. So down to 5. They don't really have a good attack here. I mean, they could. We will protect our Vivien. Or we could. I mean, we have 2 in hand. At Heartless Acts. But we drew a card and we made a 3/3, so that's a lot of value. Alright, Garruk. Yeah, we just Garruk, give Trample, swing all. So kind of an Orzhov vampire life gain. Is that a vampire? Yeah, it is a vampire. And that's a vampire as well. Okay. Now that Silver Smoke Ghoul seems pretty sweet. There's definitely a lot of fun potential with that card. And the Patrician is a good card as well. Alright, up against El Bobby. Yeah, we have the Symbiotes, and we can potentially mutate on 3, and if we hit our 4th land, we Questing Beast, and just off to the races from there. Alright. Garrison Cat. Not a land, but it's a Vivien. So Naya Cats. I figured cats and dogs would be the popular go-to, so did not bother brewing around that. A lot of people want to fight over themselves to see who can build the most interesting cat or dog decks. They are more than welcome to do so. They can swing in here just to trade. They don't have any auras for us to blow up, so I think we just Greathorn just to make sure we get a land. We'll take a 3/4 over 2/2. Gets a counter. We get a forest down. 4/5, so we can attack through these 1/1 and 3/3 creatures. Alright, so we got Questing Beast next turn. If they have an aura, we can mutate. Unless it's like a Banishing Light, of course, then we'd have nothing to mutate onto. So most likely we just Questing Beast and leave Garruk as kind of a follow-up play for Trample. So far not too impressed with Garruk. It feels like not something you want to play on 4. Looks like something you want to kind of wait and play a little bit later on. So still nothing to... Don't have any interaction for the Cub Wardens. So that's unfortunate, but we can swing 8 here, and then they take it down to 9. So they could have blocked a Greathorn at least. Okay. 4/8. We're taking 10 here. They're going to gain a ton of life. I'm not sure what the pack leader's for. They don't have any dogs out. Yeah, we're pretty dead. We are pretty dead. We can Gemrazer to make just make another blocker. We can Vivien to make a 3/3. Maybe give him like a distraction. We get a free attack with we'll go Vigilance. We'll attack the 4. Get a free attack with the Questing Beast, but they have a bunch of lifelink and they went pretty wide. Seems like they curved out pretty well. They drew a lot of lands, but they still were able to apply a lot of pressure to us. Dominant. It's another way to pump up the team, and I'm pretty sure we're dead here. Yep. We can block 3, and they still hit us for 6, but they're just going to go off and do all the things. I mean, we're dead no matter what there, so yeah. Let's take it. -14. Okay. Alright, up against Freshmaker. I think double blue is kind of awkward, but with the Greathorn can fix that. We have the protection, we have Starrix that we can eventually kind of ramp into. So this hand seems okay. Swamp. And okay, not how I wanted to wrap up this deck. I was gonna planning to call it quits after one more game and move on to another one. People love them, some Cauldron Familiars. Witch's Oven. They didn't even attack. I mean, with Cauldron Familiar or Witch's Oven, you don't even need to. You just do the thing and win. It's pretty dumb. I mean, we'll give them a couple turns. If they don't play anything new, then I'll just concede and move on to so I can get one more actual real match in. But yeah, Witch's Oven, Cauldron Familiar, and a core set. 21 seems pretty lame. Aphemia, okay. Still nothing new. Our opponent is not doing anything interesting. So we're probably going to get killed here with a Death Touch. We don't have good attacks, but we can grab a forest out at least. And say go. We have a Questing Beast next turn. It's something. I guess you're supposed to stay in there, but like if you're not doing anything new, then I don't understand what the point of playing this event is if you're just going to play the same old crap. And nobody likes the Cauldron Familiar or Witch's Oven combo. Yeah, you're doing the thing. That's impressive. Yep, you're clicking. Still no new cards yet. They're missing land drops, so I guess that's kind of cool. We can Starrix. We don't have anything to mutate yet. Let's just swing 4. Yeah, removal spell? Nope. It seems like they're stuck on land, so I guess we'll just play it out as a 6/6. We can give it trample, and then hold up Ranger's Guile next turn, maybe. Beefy dudes are, you know, putting some work against them, especially this questing beast. Now they find a 3rd land, so we'll see if they have something else they can do. I'm not really seeing what they're up to. Okay, still nothing new from them. Temperate Calls the Dead, Ephemia, Mire Triton, Cauldron Familiar, Witch's Oven. That's not really that impressive, dude. We want to mutate. The question is, do we mutate onto Starrix, I guess? Nope. Kind of want lands. We can hit lands anyway, so let's go for that. We'll take a 6/6. So we get a counter. Man, I think we just blow up the oven, because that is super, super obnoxious. Get a land. That's cool. We need green though, so we can actually hold up our protection spells against them. Yeah, that's super cool, dude. You're doing stuff. Yeah, I think we attack for trample here. If they want to Triton block on the Starrix, that's fine. So be it. We need a way to deal with that at some point. So just get it off the board, trample through. And yeah, we'll hold up our protection spells here. We haven't really seen much in the way of protection, so maybe we should have just played the Symbiote just to get another creature down, but we'll see. Okay, 0 new cards so far. I mean, they're playing a mono black Ephemia deck with Cauldron Familiar, Witch's Oven. I guess maybe Eliminate could be their new card. Maybe they're not even running new cards. I don't know. Yeah, no new cards yet. No new cards from our opponent. This is the early access event. Just to be clear, this is the early access event. I want to close out this game. I don't want to sit through whatever this person is trying to do, so we're going to buff up the questing beast, swing 7. Can't block it. They're going to get some Scryage, gain some life. Make another 2/2. Okay, still no new cards from our opponent. Alright, so we can +3/+3 on the questing beast again, and Ranger's Guile to make it attack for 8. If they don't have removal or a way to block it, all to the bottom. Okay. So our opponent's gone through half their deck, and they've shown us no new cards. Okay, no new cards still. I guess this person did not get the memo. This was an early access event. So if anybody knows Freshmaker, if you could please remind them, this is early access. Early access event. Let's get this over with. Alright. So yeah, Beast getting done there. So there, Garruk with Questing Beast worked quite well. Alright, I think I'm going to wrap it up for this particular build and move on to a different deck for the early access event. So yeah, definitely going to be playing around with some beasts in different settings. Mono green, maybe revisit Simic, Teamer, which I did in the previous standard. There's a lot of new cool cards from core set. Definitely lots of different ways you can go, so I'll be kind of experimenting with that in the coming days, and hopefully have some more refined lists for you guys. So yeah, it's nice for you guys to see some of our rough drafts in action. So thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, wish you jank with a purpose.